So Navy boot camp, you want to know what it's like, what to expect, if it's fun, if it's as bad as you think. Don't even worry, man. I got you.
Yeah, I pull up to the spot. This shit way too fucking lit. Members only in my gang. Westside Queens is.
All right, so I just got out of boot camp yesterday, or the day before. I graduated boot camp yesterday. I've been gone for 2 months. I do like to think of myself as a completely different person. Boot camp really didn't change me on the inside, but it really changed my behaviors, the way I act. I feel like I'm a lot more mature. I don't be as childish. I can't be as outwardly with my emotions. That's a big thing that you learn in boot camp. You can't just be like angry as fuck at people and lash out. Like, you gotta learn how to control it and more positively communicate. So that's a cool thing I learned in boot camp. But to give you guys the overview, you're there for 10 weeks. The first week is P days, which is fucking ass. P days is basically like they take you in there, they shave your head, you get all your Diddy items, your sea bag, all that shit. Everything that you're gonna be using in boot camp, you get on the first night of arrival. You do get naked on the first night of arrival. That is a thing that caught me off guard. They're like, do you have any religious reasons of why you couldn't get undressed in front of other men? And then they just make you get fucking naked. That shit caught me so off guard whenever they first said that. So when you do get to Navy boot camp, they give you the Diddy bag. And then once you get naked, you change into skivvies, which are tighty whities. Fucking uncomfortable as shit, scratchy. A lot of guys, I heard, I didn't do it, but I was talking to my roommates here at A school, and they were telling me that they just fucking didn't wear skivvies. They just commandoed it. The shorts that you get, they have like this thing, because they're supposed to be they're meant to be used as swimming trunks too, because you do swim in week 1. So they have like that liner in it, and I heard a lot of guys got really comfortable with that. Females, y'all are fresh out of luck. You'll also get bras. I don't fucking know what females get. And then after P days, you get your shot. Oh, in P days, you also get your shots. You fucking don't go outside for an entire week. So when you see the sun, you're like, oh my God, it's the sun. Yeah, that shit was real. And then you fold clothes. You learn how to fold clothes. You learn how to make your bed. And don't ask your RDCs a lot of questions that first week. They're not gonna fuck with you. They're not there to be your friend, and they're not your fucking tour guide. So just fucking leave them alone. Don't look them in their eyes. Just keep it straightforward. That's kind of how I got through the first couple weeks. Just not talking to petty officers. I would just talk to my rack mate and the people around me, asking questions about instructions and stuff. You stencil a lot of stuff in P days, and then after P days, you go directly into week 1. Week 1 is the swim, and then you start learning how to fold your rack better. You also get your camis for the first time. In P days, you're basically wearing PT uniform, so you wear a yellow shirt and those shorts, or if it's the winter, you wear sweats all day. And those sweats are gonna get so uncomfortable because they don't wash them for that entire week for the most part. They wash your shirts, they wash your shorts, but they don't really wash the sweats. So those sweats are gonna be nasty, and you're like,
God, I can't wait till I get pants.
And then you're gonna get pants, and then you're gonna get tired of having to do the uniform. But that is part of the military. You're gonna be proud whenever you actually do get your camis. So whenever I got there, I got my camis, and then they didn't let me use the buttons, or the Velcro in the camis. You have to use the buttons. So that's a weird little detail. And then in week 1, you do swim. I did swim. Swim was a lot of fun. I jumped off the high thing. If you fail swim, you pretty much just have to do swim for the rest of boot camp until you pass. So you learn how to float, you use dead man's float, all that stuff. Swim is pretty easy. I wouldn't even trip about it. A lot of people, or at least whenever I was preparing for boot camp, I was really worried about the swim. I was learning how to do the dead man's float. I was practicing all the time. That shit's not a big deal. If you know how to swim, you're going to be perfectly fine. And then week 2, it starts to get a little bit easier, but it's still boot camp. Like, it still sucks. I think at that point you're marching, you're learning how to do PI, you're taking a lot of different classes. Don't fall asleep in class. I know a lot of guys who would fall asleep in class. I would fall asleep in class. The biggest thing to do with that is just drink a lot of water and then go to the back of the classroom. Just stand up. Don't even worry about upsetting anybody or anything like that. They don't get mad at you if you stand up. They get mad if you sit in your seat and you fall asleep because it's disrespectful. When you get there, make sure you're greeting people every day. You get yelled at if you mess up their rank. So if you don't know the rank, just say good morning. It's better to just say good morning and not know the rank and guess, or not guess and not say their rank at all because you don't know it, then not say good morning at all and make them think that they're rude, because they're definitely going to yell at you at RTC. It's what to expect. So I guess my biggest advice with that is just to be listening whenever they yell at you. They actually have information in the yelling. They don't just yell at you just to yell at you. They're actually telling you something important. They're just saying it in a very angry way. A lot of people freeze up, but don't freeze up. Just listen to what they're saying and do what they say. That's the quickest way to survive the yelling and the craziness of boot camp. That's mainly what boot camp is. And then week 3, you start your actual training where you learn how to tie like different knots. You learn line handling, so how to take a boat and put it on the pier. You learn how to tie it to the pier. By that time, you're going to be a little bit more comfortable in boot camp. You're going to be understanding it more. You should have jobs by that time. My job was the education petty officer. I was in charge of people studying, and I led study groups and shit like that. That was my thing. So whenever I did that, it was a lot of fun. It was difficult too. I have a fun story I'm going to tell on YouTube about being the EPO, and just make sure you're respecting everybody when you go to boot camp. Everybody hates when people are disrespectful. Don't give attitude. Just listen to orders. Don't talk back. Anything like that. Most of the time, if other recruits are telling you what to do, it's just because they want to succeed at boot camp. They don't want to get everybody in trouble. So try to listen to everybody. Don't be talking loudly, anything like that, and you'll be fine. So week 4 was probably my worst week of boot camp. That's firefighting week. Firefighting week's pretty hard. They might have changed it at RTC at the time of you're watching this video. They changed the order of the training around a lot. But whenever I went to RTC, it was firefighting week. The same thing with pretty much all of the training I'm going to be doing. I'm just going to be covering what I went through. I can't tell you exactly what they're doing at RTC, but what I went through, we did firefighting on week 4, and I kept fucking up. There's going to be bleachers. Don't step on the bleachers. They're going to yell at you. Don't fall asleep in classes, especially in firefighting, because that's a big part of your second test. You need to know firefighting, and you need to pay attention. If you can find any information about firefighting, that might be beneficial to you. Mainly because I didn't know anything about firefighting, so I was just fucking up. But hey, now I know how to fight fires. So that's a big thing. Everybody in the Navy is a firefighter, so if you are trying to join the Navy, you're going to learn firefighting, and you're also going to learn line handling. That's going to be pretty much sticking with you throughout the entirety of boot camp. And then by the time you hit week 5 is probably the most fun week of training, at least for me. That's whenever you learn how to shoot guns and you eat MREs for lunch. So it's a little bit different from chow. You don't go to the galley, you just kind of sit in the compartment for lunch only, and you eat an MRE and you learn how to do all that, and that was a lot of fun. And then after learning how to shoot a gun and the weapons conditions and things like that, we had to fire real guns, and I got sharpshooter, which I'm really, really proud of. So that was a lot of fun. And then week 6 was basically preparation for battle stations. So everything that you learned, especially with firefighting and line handling, you're going to go over again in week 6, and you're going to be preparing the entire week. So you spend a lot of time with your RDCs during that week. You're not doing any new training. You're not learning anything. You're just practicing for battle stations, and you get your group. And then I can't tell you about battle stations, so we're going to kind of skip over week 7. All I can say is that shit sucked. I never want to do battle stations again. Fuck battle stations. Then after that, man, I did nothing. I would just sleep in the bathroom. The head is what they call it, the head. I would sleep in the head a lot in RTC. That floor is just so fucking comfortable. I can sleep anywhere now. And also, I learned how to just stay awake for like a very, very long time. I don't get tired as easily. I think like my body is tired, but like I can just mentally stay awake for a super long time, and you learn how to just focus on things. And when I got back, like, it's weird using phones and shit, but all the way up until graduation, you do this thing. Oh, you do your OPFA, but I think they're changing it to where they have the OPFA before, but the OPFA was also really important. And then after the OPFA, we started getting like ice cream and cookies and shit, and that was fantastical. And you do this thing called the drill tape. I fucking hated the drill tape. Everybody hates the drill tape. Basically, it's like drill for like an hour and you stand there. It's really, really boring, but that's what you do on graduation. And then graduated, hung out with family. It's pretty great. So honest perspective on boot camp, what I would give that experience is probably like a 2 out of 10. I was really, really liked accomplishing things, but I hated going through them at the same time. But I learned so much about myself. Like I feel a lot more just confident. That's a big thing. So like as of personal growth, I've really grown a lot. I feel a lot less stressed out by situations that would have stressed me out before. They pretty much just elevate your entire stress level. So things like, oh, this is stressful, this is not stressful. But staying up and doing certain things, doing firefighting, all that shit, it's hard. Standing watch, you stay up. Like you have to learn how to deal with sleep deprivation, and that's about it. So boot camp, 2 out of 10. Would never do that shit again, but also very proud I made it into the Navy. It's gonna be a good career. Anyway, y'all leave a like and subscribe. Peace.